in the very center of hell, condemned for committing the ultimate sin, personal treachery against God, is the devil, referred to by Virgil as Dis, the Roman god of the underworld. The name, Dis, was often used for Pluto in antiquity, such as in Virgil's Aeneid. The arch-traitor, Lucifer, was once held by God to be fairest of the angels before his pride led him to rebel against God, resulting in his expulsion from heaven. Lucifer is a giant, terrifying beast trapped waist-deep in the ice, fixed and suffering. He has 3 faces, each a different color. One red, the middle, one a pale yellow, the right, and one black, the left. Dorothy L. Sayers notes that Satan's 3 faces are thought by some to suggest his control over the 3 human races: red for the Europeans, from Japheth, yellow for the Asiatic, from Shem, and black for the African, the race of Ham. All interpretations recognize that the 3 faces represent a fundamental perversion of the Trinity. Satan is impotent, ignorant, and full of hate, in contrast to the all-powerful, all-knowing, and all-loving nature of God. Lucifer retains his 6 wings. He originally belonged to the angelic order of seraphim, described in Isaiah chapter 6 verse 2. But these are now dark, bat-like, and futile. The icy wind that emanates from the beating of Lucifer's wings only further ensures his own imprisonment in the frozen lake. He weeps from his 6 eyes, and his tears mix with bloody froth and pus as they pour down his 3 chins. Each face has a mouth that chews eternally on a prominent traitor. Marcus Junius Brutus and Gaius Cassius Longinus dangle with their feet in the left and right mouths, respectively, for their involvement in the assassination of Julius Caesar, March 15, 44 BC, an act which, to Dante, represented the destruction of a unified Italy and the killing of the man who was divinely appointed to govern the world. In the central, most vicious mouth is Judas Iscariot, the apostle who betrayed Christ. Judas is receiving the most horrifying torture of the 3 traitors. His head is gnawed inside Lucifer's mouth while his back is forever flayed and shredded by Lucifer's claws. According to Dorothy L. Sayers, just as Judas figures treason against God, so Brutus and Cassius figure treason against man in society. Or we may say that we have here the images of treason against the divine and the secular government of the world. At about 6:00 p.m. on Saturday evening, Virgil and Dante begin their escape from hell by clambering down Satan's ragged fur feet first when they reach Satan's genitalia. The poets pass through the center of the universe and of gravity from the northern hemisphere of land to the southern hemisphere of water. When Virgil changes direction and begins to climb upward towards the surface of the earth at the antipodes, Dante, in his confusion, initially believes they are returning to hell. Virgil indicates that the time is halfway between the canonical hours of prime 6:00 a.m. and terce 9:00 a.m. U2009. U2009, that is 7:30 a.m. of the same Holy Saturday which was just about to end. Dante is confused as to how, after about an hour and a half of climbing, it is now apparently morning. Virgil explains that it is as a result of passing through the Earth's center into the southern hemisphere, which is 12 hours ahead of Jerusalem, the central city of the northern hemisphere, where, therefore, it is currently 7:30 p.m. Virgil goes on to explain how the southern hemisphere was once covered with dry land. But the land recoiled in horror to the north when Lucifer fell from heaven and was replaced by the ocean. Meanwhile, the inner rock Lucifer displaced as he plunged into the center of the earth rushed upwards to the surface of the southern hemisphere to avoid contact with him, forming the mountain of Purgatory. This mountain, U2009, U2009, the only landmass in the waters of the southern hemisphere, U2009. U2009 rises above the surface at a point directly opposite Jerusalem. The poets then ascend a narrow chasm of rock through the space contained between the floor formed by the convex side of Cocytus and the underside of the earth above, moving in opposition to Lethe, the river of oblivion, which flows down from the summit of Mount Purgatory. The poets finally emerge just before dawn on the morning of Easter Sunday, April 10, 1300, beneath a sky studded with stars.